Hello, how are you? Today I'd like to talk about young people and social mobility. Vast majority of children in this country go to school from nursery, reception, junior and then secondary. We would expect in a country like ours, where there has been the Industrial Revolution, the Maritime Revolution, and being able to develop constitutions and the management of systems across the world in terms of governance. We know what works, but many of the young people are being failed. Just imagine around £60,000 being spent per child on education. When that child leaves school, he or she, at least 40% cannot communicate in English language properly. Their GCSE level is below the grade C. Maths is below grade C. Is that success, or is that continuous failure? Failure to deliver those to people who need it most. Whether it's the white working class or the third, fourth generations of black and ethnic minorities in this country who are growing up and who are being left behind. When they leave school, there is an option to study or go into further education or go into apprenticeship scheme. I want to focus on apprenticeship scheme for today. The level 2 apprenticeship schemes basically is equivalent to a GCSE grade. Just imagine, after all that education, all that perseverance, going through academic training and support and nurturing, they are studying for apprenticeship at level 2 at GCSE. Many people say, particularly the older generation, the apprenticeship of the past was much more robust, it was much more in-depth, it had a pathway. No matter which community you came from, you could succeed. But the apprenticeship of today does not allow that. I believe, and many people that I speak to believe, it is just to keep young people out of the unemployment data. Massaging the figures. If we set up young people to fail, they'll continue to fail. They'll be disenchanted and demotivated. So why on earth would we send our youngsters for a level 2 at the age of 16 for an apprenticeship scheme? Following that, where is the pathway for that? Where's the further development of that? I think it's a shame. It's a wasted resource for 2 years. We are letting down young people. But there's another caveat to this. If the government say that the apprenticeship scheme at level 2 is to provide the life skills, the communication skills, the workplace environment skills, that is totally different. That is not saying that they're giving our young people an opportunity to get their foundation. The softer skills. But does that require 2 years of cheap labour? Because that's what it is. A lot of the time, a lot of the organisations that sell and promote apprenticeships to businesses across England, it's saying basically, the government are funding this, they're paying for it, you can get rid of young people at any stages without an incurring of cost. That is not fair. Cheap labour shouldn't be the solution. I believe that if apprenticeship is to matter, particularly in the northern cities, where vast amount of people have voted Brexit, that it needs to go one step higher. It needs to be a global vision of apprenticeships that does not fail people. Some people have actually embraced that route, but they're the one who are in the know. The rich and well-to-do, the well-connected, their youngsters are actually going for apprenticeship levels at level 3, at engineering, business and accounting. That sets a pathway. Level 3 sets a pathway for success, for mobility, for aspiration in the future. At level 3, that individual can then decide to study NVQ level 4, in the future study for HNC, HND and for a degree. But at level 2, it is encapsulating and grinding people into a box, saying that that is what they're able to do. I don't believe that to be the case. If parents and young people are motivated, they will do better. So what I want to say is that we should have level 3 NVQs across the nation for 3 years of training. It should be structured in a way, the pathway is there for people to stay in the workplace and continue up to level 6 NVQ qualification. If young people in that transition phase believe in themselves and start to develop the process of learning and decide to go to university, that pathway is open too. It's not limiting anybody. It's not boxing anybody. But if our young people are going to compete in the world as it is, believe you me, we have to do something different. At the moment, educational level of budgets are being cut. Numbers in the classrooms are rising. Subjects will be dropped. Who's going to suffer more? I believe in the years to come, the 40% pass failure rate in GCSE, Maths and English, those who leave without GCSE Maths and English will further increase. That support system needs to be in place. So, what I would encourage is for us to shape society by abolishing NVQ level 2 apprenticeship schemes. Offer universal NVQ level 3, which means that anybody from any background, irrespective of their pass rate at school, can succeed. Furthermore, I'd like to leave a reminder. I would like to ask everybody to ask their MPs, ask their head teachers, why is it that after 7, 8 years in the education system, 9 years, that our children cannot pass Maths and English? Is it that really that difficult? I know Chinese individuals, I know people from the Far East, black and minority ethnic communities, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, the Caribbean. Those individuals have come at the age of 8, 9, 10, 12. They've passed their GCSEs okay. They've gone on to universities. So there is a structure, there is a layer of support available. Those softer skills, those support systems, the infrastructure. If it's not there for those individuals will continue to falter. Let me share with you another success story. In Manchester, around 2001, the pass rate was in GCSE A to C was mere around about 48%, I think it was. By 2011, that had mirrored national average, around 68, 69, 70%. But that doesn't translate into success, into going into higher level and professionalism. So something is failing individuals and young people, even when they reach that level of success. What I'm saying is that there needs to be structure. There needs to be layers of support system which make young people resilient, gives them exposure to society's many institutions, allows them to dream what it is like to start out. Whether you were Albert Einstein or Gary Lineker. Where did you start? How did you progress? What was the life cycle from the age of 16 onwards? What did they do? Success has imprints all over the world. And I'd like all young people growing up in the UK to have a vision of success through others' eyes, others' imprints, and then to embrace it. It is only then, by that exposure, that experience, and appreciation, that can they expect for themselves to succeed, and then expect society for them to succeed. And we will have true enrichment, true cohesive society, where all people will not fear anyone, but will believe in their talent and their vision. So, talent and the vision is what we need to work on to grow that. Thank you for listening, and you take care.